Yo, it's me, it's the I am me. Chicka 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 dun 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 dun. Okay, I'm done. It's DDB's theme song for y'all who don't know. Anyways, it's me, it's the I am me, coming back at you guys with another episode of the Prime Nostalgia Podcast. I'm obviously your host, Prime. Today I have a special guest. I have Skip Macintyre. You don't know him. He's on YouTube. Skip Macintyre, look him up, Macintyre MAC. Also, you go to skippymac.com. He had a lot of stuff on there that you'll want to check out. By the way, I know you heard a new intro song. I know you heard it. Go check out Petrified Gumbo Music. Shout out to them for making our theme song. Of course, speaking of songs, of course, Skip has songs. He has a whole album. Go to Skippy Mac. Tell me what you think, and we're gonna play "Get Right," one of his songs, at the end.
Hey, what's going on? It's Skip Macintyre, skippymac.com.
I my introduction to Skip was about almost over a year ago. It had to be over a year ago.
Okay.
And it was the tightest world slide.
It's funny that video is like I'll because my brother and I do we watch pro wrestling like on a monthly basis, and I'll put up new videos, and so that one's like hella back in our catalog, but I'll always go back and look, and it's just like it's still piling up views. That when we first did that one, it got taken down, and then I just re-uploaded it, and it's been just chilling. And everybody's like if you search Titus World Slide, we're in like the first, I don't know, 3 or 5 results.
Yeah, man, that video is fun. And then I just started because I don't people call me weird. I like to watch people react to stuff, I guess you
Yeah.
could say. But I mean, I think it's cool. So I started watching you guys' other reactions and stuff. Like, oh, these guys are pretty cool. And
What else do you watch people react to?
just stuff I like. Like, if other than wrestling, if it's if it's whatever silly stuff I like, I guess you could say. Like a TV show, somebody reacts to a moment in a TV show or something.
Okay. I think it's kind of an interesting subsection of YouTube, because I think you got to do certain stuff to not get copyright claimed, and so people do funky stuff, and
Yeah.
it's kind of like second level viewing almost. It's kind of a weird little genre.
Yeah, I mean, because even though sometimes I even watch movies. People watch movies. That's what I've been trying to start to do. With I do it. I just do it with my voice, and eventually I do a video, and then they can have their own copy or whatever, just so I don't have any of those problems
Uh-huh.
with copyright. But those are just it's a weird thing that is because you feel like the people, you connect, you laugh at their jokes. It's fun to me.
Yeah.
You guys
It's
have
also it's also like if you react, depending on what you're reacting to, the people might actually be happy. You're helping promote their product. You're showing that you're enjoying it.
It's weird because the little people, I wouldn't say little people, but the people that's not like the major
Yeah.
network stuff,
Major
they
brands.
they be happy. They be like, yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's interesting.
yeah, you guys have a lot of inside jokes that I really like. like what's the one? A face full of stuff. I like that one.
Face full of stuff. That was from WCW in the late 90s, 2000, when they had, was it Mark Madden as one of the announcers?
Yeah, Mark
and
Madden.
that was the time period that I really was watching wrestling all the time. And so all my little memories of all the silly things, a lot of that is from when Vince Russo was running WCW.
Oh God.
But that Titus slide, man, I don't know. I think you couldn't achieve that on purpose. Like I think something like that will only happen once. That's will never happen again.
Yeah, especially to go all the way under the ring.
Yeah, and the problem is pro wrestling they'll they will try, you know, because it was this phenomenon, and so they'll be like, oh, let's recreate, you know, we want to try to get him another laugh like that, and it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, like even the last Sawyer, what was it? It was they had something Sawyer, a battle royal early this year. They had a battle royal.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in the ring, and Titus got his own entrance in like a 50-man battle royal, and Titus got his entrance. So I
Is that
guess
the one where he like ran? He started running and then he like stopped and like did like a
yeah,
ta-da, like it was
yeah.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure after that, everybody in the Sawyer Ray probably was like, "Oh, we know this dude just because he failed. You know, he's a clumsy guy." They probably think that's his character. Who knows?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, what else can you do? You know, if you have like the greatest highlight in the history of wrestling, you gotta kind of play up to it at the very least.
It's funny because that's like that blooper never gets old. Like I still laugh at it.
Exactly. Yeah. I'll pull up. I'll be with my chick at the end of the night, at the end of the day, and she's like, "Can we watch Titus Fall again?"
Oh, it's just so like because you know WWE they like to play stuff out. So you know you watch some stuff.
Yeah,
I understand, but that
yeah.
never fails. Like the one that they play a lot that I think they kind of played out is the Santino elimination.
uh,
Got
is that
eliminated for like
Kane?
1 second. Yeah, Kane.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I understand it's funny, but I mean, come on now.
I didn't really like Santino. I wasn't watching much at that time,
Oh,
but
I can
Santino was
understand.
it was very like shamelessly just like, here's and you're like, I'm not. You guys are trying too hard to be
I,
funny, and it's
I
not
can
working.
I can understand how some people like it, but I was like,
Yeah,
I don't really like it. Especially when they
yeah,
put him with Vladimir Kozlov, I was like, yeah, this is terrible.
yeah. That's
I
right. I
like the
forgot they did
Phoenix, but
that.
I didn't like him, so I was like at a crossroads because I was like, okay, they putting Biff with him now. All
Uh-huh.
right.
Yeah. What do you think about current wrestling?
Oh, well, current wrestling I like. Current
Yeah.
WWE, on the other hand, is just I
Yeah.
don't. It's hard because I don't know if you've seen this. It's like a meme, and it's like a picture of somebody in distress, and they like, while I'm watching Monday Night Raw, I say to myself, "This is why I don't watch Monday Night Raw." Because I have
Yeah.
this every time. But
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. You know it's strange. You can see if you watch wrestling. I haven't watched wrestling on a weekly basis in a long time, but if you watch wrestling on a weekly basis, you can almost see when the head of creative is losing touch. Like you can see
yeah,
it week by week. You can see it just getting worse and worse.
because like
And
I watch it, I'm
like
like, who they thought this was for? Like,
yeah,
uh,
I mean they can do all this different stuff they want, but I think what it boils down to is you've got Vince who's 74 or something,
I think he's
and
like
he's still
75.
yeah 75 years old, and he's still like they'll whatever ideas they bring him, he has to okay it. So that's what your thing's gonna come down to. So
Yeah, they
it's
do
kind of
some stuff
tough.
they do is cool, but some stuff they do just you like for example, they build up people just to have them get buried sometimes.
Hmm. Yeah.
Especially
It's
we
frustrating. It's
face.
frustrating a bit to try to watch. The AEW is doing pretty good out the gate. You know,
Yeah, they do
um,
pretty good. Pretty.
I think a big piece of it is a lot of those guys just create their own character and their own promos, and
Yeah, yeah.
that lets you kind of have an organic show. Rather than like trying to script out stuff.
I know they can't do that for every single person. I know everybody isn't polished on talking yet,
Hmm.
but everybody don't need like a word by word script. I think bullet points will help, and if they need help, I'm pretty sure they got like different people there to help. But WWE gives them like you gotta follow the script at all times.
Yeah, even for the big stars, which is like how are they supposed to figure out what they're supposed to be doing if you're writing their script for them every week.
Yeah, because
You
you
know,
know,
how
Jericho
could
and
Stone Cold,
AEW.
if you were telling Stone Cold what to say,
Oh,
or Ric Flair,
yeah,
or anybody down the line, Shawn Michaels, whatever, Bret Hart, if you were telling them word for word what to say, how are they going to figure out how to be Bret Hart, Stone Cold?
yeah. Speaking of Flair, just real quick on Monday, he had the mic all to himself. Usually they'll put somebody in the ring with him. He was just there all by himself, and he was Flair. He was Flair. That probably was the best part of Raw, just him talking.
Yeah.
And they were in like Cleveland or something. He just crapped on the whole Cleveland Cavaliers and everybody else. And
he healed out.
Yeah.
One of the things we really miss, and we talk about it sometimes, is when New Day used to be heel.
Yeah. Oh.
Big E used to come out and say everything was booty. Whatever city they were in. He'd be like, Cleveland Cavaliers are booty. And you knew every week it was going to happen.
Yeah, they call LeBron James LeBooty.
LeBooty.
The New Day, when they had their heel run, some points they were funny. At some points it's like, all right, this is too much.
I know, yeah, because it's because you know what the purpose of it is, so they can't really have too much fun because they're like, well, you got to make sure they hate you.
Yeah, but still, it was great.
Yeah,
and they turned into faces and did the same good stuff. Like, oh, they got something here. Then they kind of ran its course a little bit, but then they came back, back on top with different stuff. But
yeah. I mean, who would you say is doing good? Daniel Bryan is always good. By the way,
Bryan is always good. Bray Wyatt.
I always want to call him Bryan Danielson. I don't know why they changed his name. It's the silliest name change.
They changed
Bryan
it because
Danielson to Daniel Bryan.
They want to own his name, so they just
I mean, I understand it, but I still think it's like even if they would have made it Daniel Bryant, like nobody has Bryan as a last name.
Oh, Bryant would have been terrible though.
Okay. Never mind then.
I guess he said, whatever I do, I just get to keep my first name.
Yeah, but it's real. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, if somebody was like, "Yeah, hi, I'm Daniel Bryan," I'd be like, "That's a messed up name, bro."
You got two first names, brother.
Yeah. What happened there?
I mean,
Who else is good? I mean, AJ's always good, you know.
AJ's always good. Well, Bray Wyatt was good, but after Hell in the Cell, I don't know how good he is anymore.
Yeah, that was a fiasco, wasn't
it? They really just made Seth Rollins like one of the biggest heels, and he's not even a heel. It's like they should just turn him heel. He was great as a heel the first time, so maybe not.
I think Seth is a better heel than babyface, but that match, man, the main event of Hell in a Cell. I mean, I would have a hard time telling you a worse main event that I've ever seen. Other than the one time Jeff Hardy came out all fucked up at TNA,
and they didn't add. I was
I did too.
I was like, what, that's it? Yeah. No, nobody gonna come out? I was like, oh, all right.
Yeah. Well, they tried. Didn't Bischoff come out and was like, "This is gonna be no DQ," and they're like, "Okay."
Yeah, he basically came and said, "It's gonna be no DQ." Basically, like, "All right, Sting, we're gonna need you to pedal," and that was it.
That's why he came out. He came out so that he could tell him, "Hey, just get him out of here."
Yeah, because I listened to Bruce Pritchard's podcast. He's like, when this music hit, he was nowhere to be found, and then like two guys like dragged him to the front. And it was like, oh, okay. And I guess everybody looked, what are we going to do? And then they looked back and Jeff was already out.
Yeah. Oh, he was already walking?
Yeah, he was already walking out. Like, oh, what? Y'all just ain't going to let him go? Like, at least have somebody be there.
I know. Somebody hold on to him. Yeah. Somebody hold on to him. Okay, let's figure out something.
Yeah, but he went out there.
Put a different match out there, something.
I would have just, I would at least have Jeff go to the back and I would have like somebody else, like, come out and try to challenge Sting or something. Just
something, right? Was Jeff the champ at that point?
Yeah.
I don't remember, but
I think he was a champ. I think that's when Sting won the championship. Yeah, I think he was a champ.
Yeah, I don't remember. That was a title match, so one of them was champ.
Because I remember he had that ugly title.
Yeah, that's right. The one with like a face on it. Yeah.
That title was so.
But I mean, what do you do? So you would have like, okay, Jeff can't wrestle, so let's hold him. Let's say something. We'll shoot something later we'll choose something later to show he got attacked in the back or something. And then
Well, I
for
would.
meantime, you say, oh, somebody comes out and says, we found Jeff, he's incapacitated. Instead of the scheduled main event, let's have, whoever else didn't have a match right then. That's like a decent name.
Since it was live, I probably would have like got a camera back there immediately and showed Jeff knocked out. If he was passed out, whatever. I would have showed him passed out. I was like, well, we need somebody to replace him. And since it's Jeff Jarrett, I probably would have just sent him out there because I know him and Sting have a good match.
Jeff Jarrett.
For the time being, yeah, I know them two can have a good match with each other. So I would have just sent him out there if he didn't already wrestle early.
He's gonna have a flashback. Jeff Jarrett gonna have a flashback of the deal where he laid down for Hogan in 2000.
Oh, hey,
Do you remember that?
Yeah, that man. Vince Russo, man. Oh, I
yeah.
This is why the shape this company. This is what the company's in the shape it's in now.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's the reason why they were called TNA for 12 years.
But TNA did a lot of good stuff, but it's like when they did bad stuff, it was
I respectfully disagree, sir.
Well, all right. Tell me why.
No, they had some good matches. They had some good matches, but the writing was always just slapped together.
The writing was always like that, but then the wrestlers made it work. But then when they had something that was bad, it was like very bad. Like you can't just have like.
Well, I mean, they had Kurt, they had AJ, they had Samoa Joe, so of course you're gonna have good wrestling matches.
Oh, of course.
Christopher Daniels, but like you're like the way they would get to him and what they would do in between them.
Well, yeah. Hey, I really love the main event Mafia. I'm not complaining. Main event
Mafia. Okay.
Like even
was that a Russo creation?
I'm not even sure who created it. Yeah. I'm not sure. Maybe Bruce Pritchard or Jeremy Borash. He was the But even though I don't like the concept of all these old guys winning all the championships, I like their banter and their conversations. It was just like it was off the script all the time. Seemed like.
Yeah.
You got Scott Steiner. One episode they all took over. Like Scott Steiner was the announcer, Booker T and Kevin Nash was the commentators, and I think Sting and Kurt Angle wrestled that night, and it was just I don't know. I guess to me they were just funny for no reason.
You got 3 and the TNA Knockout Champion, Awesome Kong, the group known as Confucius, hailing from Dunkin' Donuts, from the great state of obesity, Team 3D.
I remember one time Nash went to commentary in WCW and they said, what's it, Hacksaw? Hacksaw did some move and one of the other commentators goes, it's the Old Glory knee drop. And so Nash he's like, what makes it the Old Glory? Because Hacksaw does it? And then, then the rest of the night he was on commentary, kept calling everything the Old Glory. This is the Old Glory right hand punch. The Old Glory sunset flip.
Hacksaw, man. Hacksaw. if you watch Jim Duggan's matches, like most of his matches end with a brawl to the back.
Yeah.
Like every time I see one of his matches, I'm like, oh, the back. Yeah, you already know.
The back. It's gonna be in the back. Yeah.
It's not gonna have no clean finish, just brawl to the back.
Yeah.
But while we on this topic of wrestling, I got a lot of inside jokes with myself that I'm probably about to see. So, out of all the returns, what is your favorite return moment?
Out of all the returns, who do I like returning?
Yeah.
I really got no. There was one time where I think Sting hadn't come out in TNA for a little while, and when Sting came out in WWE for the first time, that was pretty dope. I guess that was not a return; that was a debut. Except his
he returned later and he was just standing there, right? He was looking at the ring. They showed him, he just there. And then Michael Cole was like, that's Sting. JBL was like, that's not Sting, you idiot. That's a picture of Sting. Interesting. What do you mean?
He wasn't there.
No, he was there. I'm saying, like, you know how, like, if The Rock's there, he just sitting there. He poses for a little bit before he starts.
Yeah. So he was what? Just up on the ramp?
No, he was back. He was in Gorilla, but they showed him on the Titantron
Okay.
during the match. It was during like Seth Rollins versus like John Cena or somebody, and he just appears on the Titantron. He's just staring at the camera, like for a good 30 seconds or whatever, and then he just moves, and then it's like, oh, it is Sting. Of course, Sting. Why would Sting just appear?
A picture of Sting.
Yeah.
That's a highlight reel comment.
That's like when I search for like comments and stuff, I literally type those in, they pop up, which makes it so much better.
There's one that I love where the title of it, if you look on YouTube, is JBL tells Cole to shut up, and Cole says something like, "Well, you're gonna be facing Finley. How are you gonna beat Finley, the man who loves to fight?" And then JBL goes, "Shut up."
Oh man, I gotta I know not Batista.
Well, which return do you like, Prime?
This one is in my head just because it's so funny. Is the Ultimate Warrior return because
Man,
what Papa Shango was late, so that messed it up.
Okay, explain it to me.
So it's Hulk Hogan versus Sid. I want to say Sid in the main event. And Papa Shango.
Oh yes. Okay, this is at a Mania.
Yeah, WrestleMania. Then Hulk Hogan had the leg drop, and Sid had to kick out. Nobody never kicked out of the leg drop before because Papa Shango was late.
Supposed to. It was supposed to be a run-in.
Yeah, Papa Shango was supposed to run in, but he was late, so he just had to kick out. So before Papa Shango's even coming out, they're like, what do we do? So Hogan just picks up, I forget who was his manager, he just picks him up and throws him at Sid. He's like, okay, what do I do with this? And then here comes Papa Shango running out late like he just had to take a dump or something. Who knows? That's how he was running. He was running kind of like, and then, they're jumping him. Then you hear the music. And literally, this probably was like the longest run I've ever seen.
Yeah. It was a long ramp, man. I remember some interview, but I don't remember well enough where they asked Shango what happened, and I forget what he said. He said something like they didn't give me my cue at the right time or something.
Nah, he probably didn't know that was a long ramp. They thought, he just run. He looked at that ramp. Ooh, I can't run that. That's probably what it was. Sometimes they have people run out there. He was like, he started to run. He was like, oh, I can't do that. I gotta dog this. Warrior power through. He ran the whole time, power through. He got the ring, and then he like revved up. But maybe my favorite is either Brock Lesnar coming back, 2012.
Oh yeah, that was good. Yeah, that was a good one.
Or Ric Flair coming back in 2001 because his speech that he gave was so good.
Goldberg's last year or 2 years ago return where he cut that promo. That's definitely the best promo Goldberg ever cut.
Seriously, other than your neck, that was good.
Yeah, when I was a little kid, Goldberg was my favorite wrestler, and then as I got older, you kind of like learn. You're from watching, you kind of learn the craft of it and stuff, and you're like, he ain't really that good.
You're like, this guy,
but
I like
he was, yeah. I mean, he was powerful, so he could do a lot of moves that like nobody else could do, or nobody else would do at least. And I would be like, man, this is. He did the press over his head, and
that press. I will say, I do like
the hook throw suplex and the fall away thing and all this. And I was like, man, he throws people.
Yeah, he does. He killed Christian one time. I'll give him that. He killed people with
but it don't look. I'm still trying to ride for him in a certain extent, but it don't. His spear don't look the same. None of that shit looks the same as it used to.
Of course. Especially Undertaker. I'm not gonna talk about that.
Wasn't Scott Steiner still wrestling recently?
Yeah, he still wrestles.
In TNA. He was in TNA like last year or a year before.
Yeah, him and somebody named Eli Drake had the tag titles.
Tag titles.
Yeah. You know
How
that.
old is Scott Steiner?
Ooh, kind of.
He's got to be like 86 or something.
No, I'm pretty sure he's like 55 or something like that.
Yeah, but he got one of those. I mean, he was so yoked that as you get older, you
Oh,
can't look
he
normal
looks.
now.
Oh yeah, he has to wear a t-shirt. He looks so bad.
He
It's
got
so weird
that pec separation thing happening.
because you like if you he still does the muscle thing when he comes out, and
Mm.
like it just looks like his muscle is just like there.
Does he
Like
do does he do the muscle thing with the shirt on?
yeah, he does it with the shirt on.
Okay.
Like
He
I guess
rolls the sleeve up.
no, he has on a sleeveless shirt.
Okay, gotcha, yeah.
But one time he tried. He was like, I could still wrestle, and he did a Frankensteiner from the top rope, but landed straight on his head. I was like, yeah, you might need to stop doing that, Steiner.
Can't get his Frankensteiner no more.
But you know what? I might as well do it. So I'm on TNA right now. Impact Wrestling. They have
Yeah.
RVD, Tommy Dreamer,
Oh,
Sabu,
yeah,
and Rhino. Right?
yeah.
They're all like key parts. Like RVD just turned heel like last Sunday, and they had a pay per view.
Wow.
I was like, all right. I don't know why he's turning heel, but
Well, my brother and I love to watch Tommy Dreamer because we think Tommy Dreamer fully understands who he is, how to have a good Tommy Dreamer match. And
yeah,
that is that he's not athletic.
no, not at
he
all.
has he has he has hardcore matches
Yep.
and with a little bit of comedic effect. So he'll hit somebody with something goofy, some sign or some plastic dinosaur or something for a pop or whatever. But that's the way his matches work, and he fully
Yeah,
understands it and embraces it.
he knows his role. That's why I feel
Yeah.
he knows where he's
Ah,
not like I need to be higher on the car. He just
yeah. And RVD, I haven't watched any of his matches, but I saw a little clip of him, and I was like, that is an old version of RVD. He should
yeah,
be modifying what he's doing,
yep.
but I don't know. Is he?
Uh, to a point, because he's still
Yeah.
doing the same move, but you know the move when like somebody kicks him and he catches their foot and does like I don't know how
Oh,
you
step
explain
over thing.
it. Yeah, step over thing. He can't even get his foot all the way up now, so he kind of kicks him in the
Yeah.
stomach. He doesn't do the coast to coast anymore. Van Terminator.
Okay. Yeah.
I think Van Terminator is the one he goes off the rope, and he
That
doesn't go off
sounds
the
right.
rope anymore. Yeah,
Yeah.
he still does the frog splash, still does the split leg and all that. Rolling Thunder. The
Hmm.
Rolling Thunder is more like a tumbling thunder though.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. A falling, and then you tuck your shoulder. Thunder.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm
Crumbling thunder.
so weird because everybody talks how TNA is like Impact is dead. They have great pay-per-views, and they have
Do they?
yes, they really
Alan
do.
Shamrock's over there.
Oh, dude, Shamrock.
He looks good except his face.
Seriously, he had a good match though. Like for
Did he?
him to be 56, 50, whatever he had a good match. Like I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if WWE is calling him.
Oh man.
Like just like one more time because he
Yeah.
did good though. He did what do you call it, tope over the rope and click over
Sure.
rope.
Yeah.
Even though
Tope Suicida. We're always talking about Moro. Moro
there was
yells at
tope,
you every time someone does it.
he did
Tope
a
Suicida.
he landed like the dude called him in like a tombstone position because he almost messed
wow.
up. Yeah, so he almost died. But other than that, he did good though. Yeah, good match, good showing. He was big
Taker almost died one time trying to jump over the top rope in
with
that Shawn
25.
match, the second
Yeah,
one. I think it was the second one.
That was the first one, WrestleMania 25.
First one where he tried to. Oh, you know what it was? He tried to pull the cameraman.
Yeah,
And the cameraman didn't catch him right.
he was supposed to catch him, but he did.
Yeah.
That's why he got fired. He was I don't know if you remember Deuce and Domino. That's who it was.
Deuce and Domino. What?
Yeah.
Oh, one of those was the cameraman.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Deuce. I remember Deuce and Domino and Cherry. Oh yeah, memories.
Wow. So was that just a prop camera? They never went to that camera.
I believe it was like one of those things where it was an actual camera, but
Yeah.
they didn't use any shots because they knew that it was going to.
They didn't use any shots. He was just there to take the. Let's see. That's a little like a carnival trick.
Yeah, 'cause they did that one time before with Taker and Batista. He fought Batista in Hell in a Cell, and Edge was the cameraman the whole time inside the cell.
Edge before he was Edge, or
No, he was Edge. Yeah, he was. It was 2007.
oh, did he like he come interfere? He dropped his camera and went and interfered.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, he was the cameraman the whole match though in the Hell in a Cell. So like the whole time he has on like the jumpsuit, and he probably has like a hat or something on, so nobody knows it's him.
Mm-hmm.
It's so weird. And then like out of nowhere, he just pulls the referee out, comes in and destroys the Undertaker. He does a concerto, like Undertaker's head is on the steps, and he like just concertos his head.
Mm. What's So let's say you're booking WWE. You've got Ken Shamrock for one. You get to do one story. So he can do like a couple matches as build up, but he's gonna do one angle. Who you gonna put him with?
I would say Brock naturally because Brock can probably handle it,
Mm-hmm.
but that is kind of a hard question though.
Who did he used to wrestle? Like you could do something funky, like put him with one of the new guys, like Dolph or AJ. I know that's not really a new guy, but
well, yeah,
like somebody after his generation at least.
I mean, because Shamrock was underrated though, because he used to have good matches. But
he was a good wrestler in the '90s.
Yeah, he didn't have he didn't really have a character, so that's probably why people don't like really.
Yeah, I wonder who he used to feud with back then. I know Goldust was around then. Rock
used to knock him out with that chair. Literally, probably one of the worst chair shots I ever seen.
Nobody else is still left from that era.
Later and nobody really left because
nobody's still wrestling. So you couldn't have a feud, a blood match for a last thing. It would have to be a
because all his
showcase, a Ken showcase.
All his feuds are just people that's like either not wrestling or they passed away. So yeah, maybe just like a I need somebody his size though. That's why I said not Brock. Somebody his size. So maybe Dolph. Dolph likes getting beat up, obviously. So Dolph is good.
Dolph could sell a lot of stuff, but I don't know. It's just like, yeah, I guess then it would just be like, okay, here's Shamrock's last match, and it just could sell just on that.
I mean, no, this is actually a good question. What? Yeah, man.
I think about that sometimes, and a lot of the time it's too long form of a thing. When we're watching wrestling, I'll ask my brother stuff like that. And sometimes it's too long form of a conversation. I don't want to like put it on there and have people get like bored or whatever. But a lot of the time I'm like, the guys that are getting old, I'm like, wow, how would you write this guy's retirement? How would you book it?
Better than they did Kurt Angle's retirement. I'll tell you that.
Kurt Angle, yeah, see, it was like a wreck. So you got to go like, okay, Kurt is going to have one last match. I mean, you got to do like, I mean, it should be like him and Sting had hella matches in TNA or
everybody thought it was gonna be Cena. They was like, nope, psych.
Cena, yeah, or somebody, Triple H at least, something.
I guess looking back at it now, it makes sense for Baron Corbin to like get that rub or get that heat, but I wouldn't have still put him in that position.
Yeah, like, I think Corbin might be the worst managed current guy. I can't track what we're supposed to. Isn't he supposed to be like big and strong, like a monster heel?
No, he's not big and strong. He's just like a jerk.
I know he's like a wimp, but the dude is big.
He's like a bully that like knows that you're not gonna hit back, basically. Okay. And then when you hit him back, he's like, "Oh, all right, chill, you got it."
So now he's got a king gimmick also. He got a king gimmick with his slacks.
He doesn't wear the vest anymore. He just wears a t-shirt.
Okay. So now you got a t-shirt with slacks and a king crown.
Yep.
And he's chicken shit. He runs from everything. But the human being, is big, but it
Yes.
never factors in.
It's so weird because he like on the mic and stuff, he's actually like he's improving.
Yeah.
Like even when he fought Seth and it was him and Lacey versus Seth and Becky, and after he gave Becky the end of the day, she was like, "What are you gonna do about it, you little shit?" He just said that.
He is, yeah, he's improving. It's sad that nothing will come of it.
Of course.
They're gonna keep
Typical.
booking him this way.
Typical.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I
So
mean,
what else? So what else you kind of like talk about on this podcast? What's some of your favorite
oh
topics? You talk about
dude,
like
I
old.
talk about nostalgia, just stuff I
Mhm.
like. Either it's wrestling, TV, movies, music, anything really that comes to my mind, I just say it. Pretty
So
much.
you shoot something. What's something you've been wanting to talk about that nobody else has really known about?
Oof, oof, oof. Uh, I gotta think for a second because this is a lot. There's a lot. Usually, I said, all right, it's Halloween. Halloween season. Halloween is a couple of
Yeah,
days.
yeah.
Usually on my channel, so I do like a review.
Hmm.
So I do like either Hocus Pocus. I watch Hocus Pocus for the first time this year.
I don't
I
know
do
what
like
that is. Is that a
see, it's a Halloween movie. Yeah.
uh-huh.
I,
Who's in it?
uh um Sarah Jessica Parker.
Okay. That was
Uh
I was thinking it was something like that.
yeah.
Okay.
But watching now as a as a full adult, I'm like, I see why I haven't watched this movie. It's not bad or
Oh
anything.
wait, no, Sarah Jessica Parker is Sex and the City girl.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking of you said nostalgia and then Sarah I was thinking of
Oh,
Sarah Michelle Gellar, is it?
oh, she's on Scooby Doo.
That's like around that, yeah, but that's like around that time period, like late 90s, mid 2000s.
Yeah, yeah.
She was big then. I don't know if she's still around.
I'm not sure.
Uh,
But it's like different stuff I do. Like I watch
Scooby Doo. I went to watch that movie.
yeah,
Boy.
I watched that one first time in like since it came out. I was like, yeah, I don't got nothing to say about this one. I watched Ghostbusters for the first time because I know about it, but I've been holding it off so that I can watch it. And like
Okay.
during the middle of me watching, I was like, this sucks. Not the movie, but like what I was like,
Oh,
yeah,
it sucks that you didn't watch it yet.
yeah, it sucks. Like while I was watching it, I was like, yeah, people are not gonna like me watching this because I was like trashing the movie not because of how bad it was, because like I know it came out in the
On
80s. It was,
the original Ghostbusters?
yes, I know that it came out in the 80s. I was like, ooh, that they shouldn't have did that one, but oof.
Oh, like some of the effects and stuff? Is that what you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah,
make
it's tough because I mean a lot of that, like a lot of those. If you know what's really bad, if you go look at like RoboCop, the sequels.
oh god,
Oh man, those effects were bad. And at the time, people were like, "Yeah, man, this is that's how action movies looked." You
yeah,
go back
I
and
was like,
watch it now, you're like, "Oh man, I can't believe we like watched this and thought it was not we, but can't believe people watched this and like thought it was cutting edge." And now just look now, like how things look now.
yeah, man, it's a lot of stuff. Like even I just so how, you know what Freeform is or ABC Family?
Uh, that sounds familiar, but not
Yeah,
ABC
it's a
Family sounds familiar. Is
yeah,
that like
you know, and they play
name
right.
one of the shows? I'll remember it.
Well, then I want to watch them for shows. I'm saying like every season they put on like movies. You know,
Uh-huh.
Christmas season they put on all the Christmas movie. They have the 25 Days of Christmas. Halloween they have the 31 Nights of Halloween.
Uh-huh.
Thanksgiving like whatever Thanksgiving movies. They really just known for movies. Like I don't really know
Hmm.
what shows they have on there or anything, but
Okay.
that's like one of my
I was
go-to
thinking of
things.
something that used to be called. I think it used to be called TGIF.
Oh my God, TGIF Friday was on ABC Family. Yep, you're
ABC
correct.
Family. Yep.
But it
And
was on
that was
ABC
like a set of shows. There was like 3 or 4 shows that they would run in a row.
like 4. It depends on
I can't
depends.
remember not a one of them, but it was
Oh,
like,
it had like
was it
Family
Family
Matters.
Matters? Yeah.
Full House,
Yeah.
Boy Meets World, Step by Step, even Sabrina Teenage Witch.
Mm.
Yeah, a lot of shows.
Yeah.
And then
Huh.
the next morning, Saturday morning, had like Saved by the Bell and all that. So
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was, oh yeah, shows are
So
just
I think that those. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that those four shows, if that was the four shows, are not really. They didn't run concurrently. I think those are different eras.
yeah. Well,
Because
I know
Family Matters is older than what was it?
what Boy Meets World.
Yeah, it is. Well, no, those are about the same, right?
Yeah, Family Matters was in '89 to '98.
Uh huh.
Full House was
Wow.
'87, I want to say, something like that. So they like during the latest seasons they'll run different things. They try different stuff.
That's impressive that you just knew the years of Family Matters. Are you encyclopedic like that about all those shows?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like my. Well,
when
only the
did
shows
when did Saved by the Bell? When did Saved by the Bell run?
1989 to 1993,
Oh wow.
and
It was only 4
uh
years of Saved by the Bell.
yeah, because it well
They went
as the
into
mini
reruns.
no they started off as a middle school show called Good Morning Miss Bliss, and they was in Indianapolis, and it was about the teachers, not the students. Then they got canceled. Then they moved to California, and then three of the students came over, and the principal
Uh-huh.
came over, same school. And then the first year was them in ninth grade, and obviously go to 12th.
Wow.
They
Oh,
did the
until they went
college.
to 12th, and then that was it. They had to cut. Oh, then they did the college years,
Yeah, the college year is only one season.
one season.
Then they had a
But
movie.
did they have all? Did they have all five of them in the college years?
The college years. Let's see. No, it was six. It was six of them. Was it six? It was six. Yeah, six of them in the series, and then the college years it was five.
Okay. Who was
Or then
missing?
they added more characters. Jesse,
Jesse was
the
gone.
tall.
Yeah.
Then they had a movie. Zach and Kelly got married.
Uh huh.
They had a spin-off series, which is technically the same iteration, just different kids in the same school, called
Wow.
the New Class. That lasted for like 7 to 8 years.
Holy
So yeah,
smokes.
yeah.
Do you have a do you have a time period that would be your like? Are you like, yeah, this is my time period. I know all the nostalgic TV info and all that for this time period, or are you like kind of everything
I kind of float around everything.
float around? Yeah,
Yeah, because
that's
I
interesting.
like just like a lot of shows. Like I like my nostalgia. Like I pride myself on YouTube because I used to make theme song challenges and stuff. People, they watch them and say, "Oh yeah, I remember this song and I know this song and this show and stuff." And then they started telling me, "Why haven't you watched this show or haven't you watched that show?" So I just been going back and watching all the shows so that I could just call myself the king of nostalgia in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I kind of like go back and like study all the shows.
Did you play any games back then?
Uh, game system. Not back then, because I was
Mm-hmm.
back then I was like either I was watching TV shows or I was outside.
Mm-hmm.
But when I first started playing the games, I played PS1,
Mm-hmm.
and then I started PS1. Then I went to GameCube. I fluctuated because I had a Nintendo 64, but then I had like a PS2 at the same time. And depends
Mm-hmm.
on if I got on a punishment or something, then I would go back and play the Nintendo 64. So it fluctuates on.
If you're on punishment,
Yeah,
why would you
yeah.
switch if you're on punishment?
Because
Oh, they were in different rooms.
no, my parents only took away one system because
Oh,
when so in my mind like
they
when
weren't
when
hip
they
to it. Did you have the other one hidden?
did something like that, like I had it in the closet. So when they took that one away, I got bored. I just started looking through them. I was like, oh, I got this system and I got these games. Okay, I can play this.
What if they come in? What if they come in and they see you playing the other one? Would they get
They ain't,
mad?
no, they ain't even care. They was like, oh, they ain't even think that was a game system, bro. I was
Uh,
like, they
they just took. We took his one that he plays all the time. So
yeah,
that's
yeah. It was like,
okay.
oh, he's not gonna like that. We ain't gonna play that for that long.
GameCube was a fire system.
Yeah, it was. I like GameCube. I used to have
GameCube is extremely slept on.
yeah, GameCube and Game Boy too.
Yeah, you can you can like inject games on Wii U. I know this already is a generation old, so I'm telling like people don't even have Wii U's now, but you can inject games. So if you get like the GameCube game, then you can like make a Wii U game out of it. And so because of that, just like going back looking through what games were on GameCube, they had a lot of good ones.
I
It was
like
a
the
really slept on
Tony
system.
Hawk. Tony Hawk Pro Skater was like my game. The Simpsons. I forgot what it's actually called. That was good. You have any games that you really like?
On GameCube, I mean, I'm a Zelda fan. I'm a Zelda
Uh,
freak, so I play all the Zeldas. And GameCube had like a real cool. The controller on it was dope for just like the feel of it.
yeah,
So
real control.
what ones was it on GameCube? It was Wind Waker. It was Four Swords Heroes. I played NBA Street on
Okay.
GameCube. Yeah, and the controller, to me, the GameCube controller felt better than the um, PlayStation controller for NBA Street. Yeah, man, I don't know. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. There's a lot of dope games on
I guess
Skies of Arcadia.
I guess you call me like a stereotypical fan because I didn't play that many games because I didn't like. If you told me to buy a game, I wasn't gonna buy it. I play it. Like, if you buy it and bring it over, we can play it with it.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna buy nothing. So I had like the same 4 games. Like, I had like wrestling, NBA, and Madden, and like another game, and that was it. Like, it was just those.
Yeah.
But I usually
If you when I was little, I used to play the wrestling games on N64. This is probably everybody who like plays wrestling games probably already knows this conversation.
No Mercy or WrestleMania.
No Mercy in WrestleMania, and for some reason, that was the peak. That was it. I can't, the wrestling games they have since then. I know it's like 20 years ago now, but they can't achieve it. Like they had the perfect system on N64 for wrestling games.
It's so weird. I don't know if it's just a lot for them to do to make it just overall playable. Like, I didn't even get the game this year for the new one that came out, and WrestleMania or No Mercy, those are just playable games. Like, you can play them by yourself with people, and
maybe that was the breakthrough. Was they used to be like fighting games where you had to get really good at this button combination in order to do whatever move, and then you had to like try to do that all match.
Yeah, because now I play the game by myself. I'm like, man, this is too much. I'm like,
and then when Revenge came out, no, not now, but like before that, and then when Revenge came out, and then WrestleMania and No Mercy, but they made it to where, well, you build up each time you get a hit, you build up your energy, and then at a certain point you can do your special, and they wasn't hard to do. And I was like, okay, this is it. And like the whip off the ropes button was simple. Climbing in and out, climbing the turnbuckle was simple. I was like, this is dope. It's like easy to pick up and play, and then you could like just do all the moves of all the guys that you like that you've been wanting to do. And somehow they haven't been able to. I don't know. I know it's like they design it with that in mind now, but somehow they haven't been able to like achieve it the same way.
I really like Here Comes the Pain. Like, I really like that one.
Okay, I didn't play that one, but yeah, I think I've heard that before.
I really like Here Comes the Pain. I like SmackDown versus Raw 2006. Those two are like very good, playing wise. And then like when they got to like 2011, that's when it started getting like, all right, this is kind of not fun anymore. And then maybe 2014 they had a good game, and after that it was kind of like, all right, who cares? Like,
they're 2K Sports now, I think.
Yeah, right? You got one of the biggest gaming companies. Y'all can't make a good game. All right, whatever. Who cares?
Yeah. Well, now I've seen all these memes and stuff online about how the new WWE game is full of glitches and you like
Oh
phase
yeah,
through the ring and all this. But anyway.
yeah. Even other than that, the game even other than that, the game was not enjoyable. Like
Oh, really?
yes, even in my career, this one line in my career, the girl says, "I'm gonna go to your grandmother's nursing home. I'm gonna take my pencil. I'm gonna erase her nursing stations off the board. So when so when they come in, they'll forget to flip your grandma over, and they will give her bed sores." That was an insult from the
Uh-huh.
game. And you mean to tell me that I'm supposed to play and they throwing stuff at like that? Oh, that's awful.
Did
It
they just
sound
have to come up with too much stuff and they just ran out of stuff?
I don't know. I don't know. 'Cause I don't know. Even they do have some funny stuff in the game though. Like that you play the Royal Rumble. Like Adam Cole is in the ring and Sin Cara is next in the Rumble. He comes in and you know how he jumps on the trampoline. And like
Uh-huh.
he jumps on the trampoline explodes, and he just goes like stomach first into the ring.
Uh,
So they have some fun stuff, but it's not the same fun element. Like uh
so
back in the day.
they bury Sin Cara on the game.
Oh yeah, of course. But I'm saying like back in the days, it was ridiculously fun. Like not, it was like ridiculous stuff happened. Like you know Booker T, he'll do his pyro and when his pyro go, he'll like explode or something.
Hmm.
Just fun stuff that's ridiculous. Like okay, it's not the real world. I can kind of take myself out of the real world to play this game in a sense.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get to some movies real quick. Do you have any like movies that are like that resonates with you?
Any movies that resonates? My favorite movie is Goodfellas.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I guess you could call that nostalgia now. To me, it's just like a kind of like I guess it's made to depict whatever that is, 70s. Um,
Oh, is it 70s? Maybe.
it's released in 95, 94, 95, somewhere in there. Um, but everybody's dressed in, it's set in, I believe, in the 70s, or like the beginning of it's in the 70s or 60s, and then they, like they grow up until the point that they're in the 90s. Um, Casino. I love Scorsese movies. Um,
Do you have any like ridiculous movies that you like? Or you're like not like guilty pleasure, just like why do I even like this? But I do.
like why do I like it? But I do. Um,
Like,
yeah. Uh, so the first one that pops to mind that I'm like, I know this is not a good movie is Armageddon.
oh,
I know
wow.
that Armageddon is a bad movie.
Okay.
Also, Independence Day. Independence Day is a bad movie,
Oof.
but when it's on, I kind of like maybe it's that nostalgic feeling that I'm watching it and I'm like, man,
Yeah.
this is like you remember what like being a little kid and you remember like, oh man, like we're looking forward to this coming out and all that. What else?
Man.
What about for you? What's your like guilty pleasure movie that you know is bad?
Well, my favorite movie is a guilty pleasure movie because is I wouldn't say terrible, but it is ridiculous. Good Burger. That is
Oh, okay, okay.
I like it because it's so ridiculous. Like it's so silly and stupid to the point
I
it's like, all
think
right,
that's on Netflix and that right now.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I think I
yeah.
saw it scrolling the other day.
I got maybe
Isn't
that one.
Sinbad in that movie?
Yeah, Sinbad is
Yeah.
like
He plays like the old out of touch.
he plays the teacher that just keeps happening to him every time they go. His mailbox explodes or his car gets ran over or something.
Uh,
It's funny and ridiculous, but it's like there's no way they took this movie seriously. So that's what I kind of like about it, I guess.
hmm
Some movies I just like when you can just turn your brain off and watch. But then at the same time, some movies you turn your brain off and watch that they want to be good on purpose are still bad.
I love Sinbad's '90s stand up unapologetically. I don't like it
Okay.
ironically. I don't like it in the way that I know this is bad. It looks goofy. If you start watching it, you'll be like, oh man, look at it. Like look what he's wearing and all that.
I thought you were gonna say you like Sinbad's sitcom show. I was about to say, ooh,
Oh, that I don't know. I didn't even know that existed. What was it about? He's a
It
dad
was,
or something?
yeah. Well, no, I
Yeah.
think at that time he was the young guy, the 20 or 30 something year old
Uh-huh.
lives with his like sister or something. He
Yeah.
works. Basically every sitcom back then.
Yeah, yeah. Hanging with
'Cause I,
Mr. Cooper.
I've been going back and watching Hanging with Mr. Cooper recently and In the House. That was LL Cool J. Been watching those two
LL
recently.
Cool J had a sitcom in the
Yeah,
house.
it's called In the House, and he was a football player for the Raiders that retired, and he's trying to get back in the league, but he can't because he's injured. So
I
he
never been
starts.
a I never been a LL fan. Now this is going back. I don't know
Uh,
how much you go into hip hop from like the 80s, but
okay,
I
I
never
like.
been a LL I never been a LL fan because I think Cool Mo D killed him, and
Oh,
everybody went with LL and rode with him, and he's the one that ended up becoming a star. And Cool Mo D everybody just forgot about. But I thought when they went head to head, I thought Cool Mo D murdered him.
I think he probably just kept his drive. Some people they get deflated.
I don't think people really knew. It's like it's kind of like back then. It's like the back then version of like Drake and Meek maybe.
Well,
Like everybody knows Drake.
yeah,
Some people know Meek, but kind of
true.
whatever, or even less. Like it'd be like Kumo D's not even as big a star as Meek is. So everybody kind of like didn't really know, and I don't know LL like even said Kumo D's name in his songs, so people didn't really know that was like a that was a beef or that they were going back and forth. And LL became like the star,
Yeah,
and nobody even really knew. Nobody really registered what Kool Moe Dee was doing, but I always thought he lost, and so I was always like, it ain't fair that he gets to be like all this. And his name is LL, stands for ladies love. Ladies
yeah,
love
lady
Cool James. That's his.
Jay.
That's supposed to be his
All
rap
right.
name. I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here,
I was like, really? All right. I mean, he can play it off though. He played off in so
That's
many ways.
fine, yeah.
Yeah. Do you
That's
have any
just like
shows?
from back then. You're like, man, I don't want somebody to be like romantic when he's rapping. Like,
Now I do like his song "I'm Bad." That's probably one of his only songs I'm like I'll rock hard. It's "I'm Bad" and probably "Mama Knock You Out" just because
yeah,
the
Mama should knock you
instrumental.
out. Yeah,
The instrumental is good, but
yeah. I
uh,
like him. I don't hate on him. I just like, I always think like, man, this is like nobody knows. Like everyone just registers LL as having this long, illustrious career, and I'm always like, man, he lost at the beginning, man. But
I guess he lost in the beginning. He just kept striving. That's what
yep,
people.
yeah, yeah,
Do
that's
you
true.
have any older shows that you can remember as a child or even in the
I
night?
used to watch
Yeah.
Family Matters.
Oh,
Um,
everybody
let me
watch Family.
see. Yeah,
Well,
I had
who's your favorite? Who's your favorite? Like as far as the character wise, Steve or Stefan?
oh, Steve.
Okay. Steve,
Yeah,
Steve was cool in the older season. The beginning stage, I was like, ugh, I can't really. I can't.
yeah. I don't know. I'm not as. I don't think I run as deep on it as you do. Probably. I don't remember him,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I could believe he would get annoying. Yeah, after however many seasons.
They
Yeah,
had 9. So that shows
yeah. By season 9, if he's still doing, you're gonna be like, okay.
which I was quick story. You know what? I was
Yeah.
so upset because I went to Chicago, and the Family Matters house in Chicago, and I went there. I went to the location the Family Matters house is, but they tore it down.
Hmm.
So I made a blank trip. Yeah, I went there
Yeah.
for All In AEW.
Oh wow, you went to that
Yeah,
live?
yeah. So I went, and
Nice.
it's in Chicago. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go to. So I like to go to different
Hmm.
filming locations, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
I don't know why, just because I'm interested in that type of stuff. So
Hmm.
I made a whole list, mapped it out. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go to the Home Alone house. I'm gonna go to this. I'm gonna go to this. So I went to the Family Matters house, and it's not even there. They tore it down.
Mm.
It's like, well, that was a blank trip because that was one of the ones I was really excited for. But
Yeah.
do you have any other? You have any other shows other than Family?
Uh, let me see. I don't know. I used to watch Saved by the Bell.
Okay.
Um, let me
Well,
see.
with,
Oh,
with,
you know
with
what I liked? You know what I liked? I'll give you one.
what?
I liked the X-Men cartoon.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah, and I liked the Batman cartoon with
Batman
the
or Batman
there's
Beyond.
a specific one that I used to watch. I don't know what the titles of all of them are. I think it may be
Was it
Batman the animated series.
okay?
Was it?
I was gonna say
It wasn't.
Batman
It wasn't. I
Beyond.
think it was just called, like, to me when I was a kid, it was just called Batman. Like I would turn on at whatever time.
Oh yeah, then yeah.
It was like after school, so it would be like
Yeah.
3:30 or whatever, and it was on like Warner Brothers or something.
I loved X-Men. X-Men was
The one where he had the square, he had the really big square jaw. Batman did on this one.
oh square jaw.
Yeah, Bruce, or even when he had his Batman on, he had a really big square jaw. Mark Hamill was the voice of Joker.
Oh yeah, that's Batman. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, just Batman. Straight up Batman.
Straight up Batman. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And X-Men, the X-Men, the theme song used to get me hyped.
Oh man.
I always thought it was kind of weird that they created like this character that they could in season 1, I think. They created this character just to kill him off because I was like, this guy's not in the comics.
They did that on another X-Men Evolution too. They made a character named Spike. But I was like, your power is that you have stuff sticking out of you. That was it. He can't control it. Just stuff sticks out of him.
Oh, what's it called? Is like they had one in the comics called Marrow.
Marrow.
A girl that her bones would grow, and they would like grow up out of her body, and she would like she would rip a bone out and attack with it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, X-Men was cool. I like Spider-Man for a little bit, the animated series. So yeah, they got cool shows. Oh, you know what? I didn't even ask you this. Quick question.
Yeah.
About Saved by the Bell. Who did you prefer? Or are you gonna say typical Kelly?
Let me see. I don't know. They're actually all three pretty close.
That's what I say. Everybody always say this is Kelly, no doubt. I'm like, I don't think
so. No. It's not Kelly, no doubt at all. I think they're all three pretty close. I might say Kelly last. I don't know.
Okay.
It's kind of a close race. I'll put it that way. Kind of a close race. I could see argument points for all of them.
Because I know, like, if you ask anybody of their top 3 90s crushes, they're gonna say Kelly Kapowski. They're gonna say Kimberly from Power Rangers, and they're gonna say
Topanga from Boy Meets World.
Oh, sorry, yes.
Yeah.
Those 3 is everybody's favorite.
Yeah.
Out of those 3, Topanga might be my favorite because Topanga. But
yeah, no, I know. That one's legit, you gotta say. But I don't put Kelly Kapowski in that same although the name's cool.
Yeah, the name is cool.
Kapowski, yeah.
They should have turned into a superhero one day or something. So really quick, I want to talk about your music.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So the other game, the other system I had when I was little was Sega Genesis, which is like kind of a generation back from what we were talking about, and it was the thing I like about it was essentially it had a sound. If you listen to soundtracks from like Super Nintendo and from Sega Genesis had like a sound to it.
Yeah.
You know? It was like kind of like a late 80s, early 90s, like not techno, but like a fast hip hop type of, synthy.
Like a 16-bit type of thing.
Yeah, a 16-bit, like kind of synthy, up-tempo kind of sound to it. And so I went back and I was listening to some of the soundtracks, and I was just messing around, trying to remix some of them into some beats. And so it ended up as kind of a cool little project. And I think the cool thing about it is that the entire project kind of has its own sound. Like it's got its own signature from front to back. A lot of the time you'll listen to a mixtape or an album and it'll be kind of all over the map. And that's cool if you want to like kind of take an emotional journey, So you want this song to sound like this and this song to sound like this, so that as people are listening, they're going on a journey. But the cool thing about this is I think I achieved different feelings, but everything is all within that kind of like genre, that sound genre. So I got that little bit of Sega Genesis sound, and all of the songs on it are sampled from Genesis songs, and it's called Hella Eloquence, and it's free. People can download it on skipmacintyre.com, but you can just if you put that, you gotta spell it right. So you can just go to skippymac.com. That'll redirect to skipmacintyre.com. You can download for free the mixtape, and I think people are really gonna dig it. A lot of people like 89 Mazda. I was gonna I was gonna say it's like 89 Mazda is kind of a cool track because it's like about I think a lot of people relate to it because everybody's been broke at one time and been driving some beater. But
why the name for the title of the whole thing?
It rhymes with Sega Genesis. I would love if I had some profound answer for that one.
That's like South Park. They had this game come out, and like when you say it's slow, it sounds like they were meant to say something. But then when you like speed up, those are because the game is fractured. It's fractured but whole. But then when you say it's fractured but whole,
yeah. I saw that and then I was like, I actually didn't think about it until I was watching some demo of the game when it was gonna come out, and somebody was like, "So tell us about the fractured but whole," and I was like, "Oh, I see."
Oh,
and
man.
Their movie, didn't they do on their movie? It's long.
Yeah, it's like bigger, longer, something.
Bigger, longer, and uncut. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they said on some interview they were like, "Oh, we gave it to the movie studio and they took it and then they came back like 2 days later and they're like, no, we just got it. You can't name it that." And they're like, no, it's too late.
Hey, South Park, they get away with a lot of stuff though. It's good. Yeah, I like that show.
They're on what season are they on, bro?
Like 24, 23 or something.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah,
23 seasons, 24 seasons.
I think Simpsons is on like 26 or 20 something.
South Park started much later than them.
Yeah, but I think, the length of episodes too.
Mm-hmm.
One show got like 22, one show had like 30 or something. So
yeah, gotcha.
South Park be kicking them out though. So hey,
yeah,
I think somebody.
Yeah, they make one a week, right?
I believe so. Yeah. Well, now they do.
Yeah. Well, during their season, they make one a week.
I like the Futuramas and the Family Guy. So all those shows I just watch them just because,
Yeah.
I'm literally.
If you were to try to choose one, I bet you couldn't. You have too many favorites.
Of those four that I just named.
Just a favorite cartoon or a favorite. Yeah. You have a favorite cartoon?
You put me on the spot. Okay. You know what? If I had to, I couldn't do a favorite cartoon, but if I had to have a cartoon to watch for the rest of my life,
yeah,
it might sound childish. I'm gonna say SpongeBob.
It's kind of a weird. That's a certain way to frame that question, right? So if you think of it as like, what's my favorite, but I know I can still watch other ones, versus if you could only have one, period, you might have a different answer, right?
Yes. Because the only reason I say SpongeBob because SpongeBob is probably the only show I watch from like my childhood till now that still entertains me, like that still makes me laugh and everything. So maybe SpongeBob, the earlier seasons maybe, but SpongeBob is ridiculous and that ridiculousness gets me sometimes.
Yeah, I used to watch when I was little was Rugrats.
I like
Rugrats is a pretty good cartoon.
And then they try to make them older by doing all grown up, and it was like, all right.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Ooh, I mean, it wasn't bad.
I don't honor that.
It was still all right, but it was still like these aren't little kids anymore. Angelica was all they friend and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's so much stuff we can talk about.
Yeah. We should wrap up here in a minute, but we should do this again sometime, my man.
Of course.
Yeah.
So before we leave,
Yeah.
tell everybody where they can find Skip.
Yeah. Skippymac.com. Find all my stuff there. If you go search YouTube for Skip Macintyre, you're gonna find my wrestling channel, my other channel. There's a lot of different other media on there. And search YouTube. If you search YouTube for Skip Macintyre, you'll find my media channel. If you search for Skippy Mac, you're gonna find my music channel. Just go to skippymac.com. You can find all my social media, my music videos, some of my battle videos, all that stuff. So,
If you had to have one of your videos to suggest, which one would you tell them to go watch first?
which genre are you talking about? I have a music
You do
video.
both. You do both.
Okay. I have a music video called Sacre Bleu, and it's stars
Say it
my
again.
Sacre Bleu, and it's off the Hella Eloquence project, and it stars my nephew when he's about 1 year old.
Okay.
So that's it. So that's a real cool video. People are gonna dig it if they go check it out. And then Titus World Slide. If you search for Titus World Slide, I believe we're on the first like 3 or 5 results, or at least last time that I tried that myself, we were. So, or just look up Wrestling Reaction, RASSLIN Reaction, and that's me and my brother watching pro wrestling and just messing around.
One more thing before we leave.
Yes, sir.
I want to hear a good inside story, or one of your favorites of wrestling or anything. Just an inside story that resonates with you every time you think about it, or like you could think of one joke and makes you laugh.
I don't know. I have. My brother got mad at me because during one of the times we were filming, I put it up on Instagram. I don't think I ever made it up to YouTube. But I told him this joke that I'd seen on another video, and he got all. When you tell somebody a joke and they enjoy it, they laugh at it, but they're mad that they liked it.
Okay, yeah.
Like they're like, "This is so stupid. I'm so pissed that I laughed at this stupid joke." So the joke is, the guy's got a dog. He tells his friend, my dog can talk. And he says, "Oh yeah, prove it. I don't believe that your dog can talk." So he says, "Fido, what's on top of the house?" The dog goes, "Roof." "Oh well, yeah, any dog can say that." He says, "Fido, what's okay, well, watch this one." He says, "Fido, how does sandpaper feel?" Dog says, "Roof." He says, "Well, yeah, again, he's just going to keep doing that, He doesn't mean he can talk." He says, "Okay." He says, "Fido, can you name a tourist attraction in San Francisco?" The dog says, "Wharf."
Okay.
So my
All right.
So my brother had
He
the
had to let
same. The just silence was my favorite part of that. So my brother had that same reaction, and that really entertained me. I laughed harder from his anger at the joke. That's when we were shooting one of those. I think we were watching NXT at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is Skip.
Well, thank you so much for having me, man. I had a great time chatting with you. We should do this again sometime. It was really cool to chop it up. Love to seems like you got just like a encyclopedia of knowledge about all this old.
Encyclopedia of wrestling, movies, shows, almost anything I like, I know about it.
Yeah, man. We could. I think we could do another couple hours easy. So.
Of course. But guys, that is Skip. That's me. And before we get out of here, I want you to listen to this song by Skip. It's called "Get Right." If you want to introduce it, you can. You want to tell them about it before they hear it. Get anything else?
No, that's cool. The sample is from Streets of Rage 2, Sega Genesis.
Well, here we go. Get right. Here it comes right at you. Prime time is all the time, and we are out.
No touch screens, no motion controls. Get right off top. I'm rotary phone, old school. You gonna hang? Let me show you the ropes. The dopest side of everything you supposedly know. Snap, get the pic, shutter open and close. They've been napping. Wake up, take the rose to the nose. Micah spaz, Mean Gene Oakland flow. Green light the busted, going for broke. I'm the hand that put the needle in the vinyl groove. Style is fuel that gotta be refined to use. These gen hacks couldn't shine my shoes. They running mad spasm, I hit moves. Squirrely say I'm nerdy, but I'm kinda cute. It's that paladin's charisma, can't hide the truth. That tag rap's eye socket with a shiner bruise. Had to clock them just in case they got the time confused. Left thumb, right side, Blair, keep it pushing. I'm 2020 sharp without even looking. Call a side scroll, go right to get right. That bookie old school, go right to get right. Shorty peep that, she wants the D-pad. See me snap, they gon' reach for the screen grab. Side scroll, go right to get right. Then book the class, go right to get right. It's all in the lines, no marginal terms. In their lane and mine's not hard to determine. I got moves that they can't guard for the world. Try stopping this drive, get that cartilage murk. The dudes everywhere like that Spartacus swerve. Heat takes replays to harness the burn. Harlot's pardon if you ain't charmed with a perv. Sometimes a blow really get the cartridge to work. Hit that long button, it's called a hard reset. Turn it up to hard, you're gonna need a sharp reflex. It's a shark's teeth with an artist's depth. Sardine tight till my heartbeat rests. Your knees ain't advancing, your heart be fresh. A non-nerd only owns when his car lease ends. Big for nothing chumps catch the Barkley test. Them boys wish they could play with that Barbie's chest. Side scrolling, hand on my scrotum. Surely as you find open side show and see. I told them keep their eyes open, knowing no over shit talk should be a high quotient. Rush the dick, mine's the rhymes golden. Got that rehash rash, this is like lotion. Turn backs to tight shit spots, bro. And I kick it if I press it at the right moment. Left thumb, right side, Blair, keep it pushing. I'm 2020 sharp without even looking. Call a side scroll, go right to get right. That bookie old school, go right to get right. Shorty peep that, she wants the D-pad. See me snap, they gon' reach for the screen grab. Side scroll, go right to get right. That bookie class, go right to get when right. I move, screen move, just like that. When I move, screen move, just like that. When I move, screen move, just like that. Hell yeah, continue to bring that back.
Still I can't